A lot of mullet right here. Oh, there, fish. Big fish, big trout. Big trout. It's a trout or a red?
I don't know.
I think I saw red.
I saw red too. That's
Dang it. Oh man, what a rush. If so, it'll be the first red on the chop block. Yeah, it's gotta be a red. Oh, that's a trout. Nice trout. That's a nice trout. Nice trout. He's coming back. Get ready. Woo! Woo!
Wow.
Oh, look at that, y'all.
Holy smokes.
Yes, sir! Yeah. All right. She's bleeding. Let's get her in the live well. To the live well, y'all. Gotta get her up. That was awesome, y'all. So awesome. We're sure we had a red trout. She drilled it, man. I hope that shows up on camera. Mullet scattering anywhere when she hit. Big boil. Chop block, man. Absolutely wild. We're gonna get a good picture of her in a second. I like to get them right in the live well right away. Just to kind of, I don't want her getting tired out of the boat. She's tired from the fight, big long fight. Get her in the live well, revive her. We're gonna weigh her for heavy hitters. I wanna make sure she goes back safely and healthy. So, and that's even before I get pictures. Like I didn't hold up that fish, I did with a net, but we'll show you the fish in a second. But definitely wanna get her revived first before we start messing. Pretty fish, y'all, maybe 4 pounds. Beautiful fish, awesome fight. Let's get a length on her. 23 inches, probably about maybe shy of a 4 pound fish. So she was 3.88 pounds, 23 inches. A little on the skinny side, but incredible fight, adrenaline pumping. That's the true value, that's the true gift, the true prize is just the experience. Absolutely incredible. And that's one of the major reasons I want to show you my journey catching bigger trout, very much learning it. It's a lifetime, right? These fish are so wily, so particular. It's a lifetime of learning. But I'm super humbled to be able to present that to you. I always want to show you the why. Not a whole lot of why other than find the most mullet you can on flats where big trout should be on their migratory route. That's the key. And then throw, in this case, a 6-inch chop block. Throw whatever you want. I'm throwing a little bit bigger baits. I've done really well with the big bites in a short amount of time. That Berkley Chop Block stinger rig worked perfect again. Had the stinger in her mouth, and then the second treble on her outside gill plate. Fish was not getting off and healthy. Other thing you gotta do is you get a big fish, get that adrenaline pumping. You know, I always encourage you, you gotta stay calm, but don't suppress the adrenaline. Man, it is so much fun, it's the experience. That's what makes you feel like a kid again. Enjoy it, but after it's done, get calm again, get controlled, work your bait properly, like you got bit originally. Don't go too fast, don't go too slow, and get ready for the next one. Caden's got a good one on the chop block. Is it 20?
Maybe.
Don't lift her until nah, it's not. It's a decent fish, but not a giant. That's the cool thing about a chop block though. It's a 20-inch fish. Even when it's not catching giants, it's 20-inch fish. Skinny, but definitely a 20. Nice fish. Just want to point out that, again, I've mentioned it before, I'll mention it again, since it's kind of already happening. This is not a massive bait. It's 6-inch glide bait. It's bigger than the majority of what inshore fishermen are throwing. Key point in the majority. There's a few throwing bigger baits. But when you compare this just to a 6-inch mullet, easy meal for a 16, 17, 18-inch trout. Trout that are around these mullets. So they're obviously not only, if you need even more evidence to show it's not too big for them, they're hanging around 6 to 8-inch mullet eating those. So it's really a mindset we have in inshore. We have a very finessey mindset, and so much to where your inshore fishermen, saltwater fishermen don't even call it finesse. In the bass world, you're fishing with 3-inch swim baits, you're finesse fishing. You're fishing for more bites. You really are in the saltwater world too. We just don't acknowledge it. We don't think of it. It's just a culture of what we do. And all the while, you got these big predatory fish, trout, big mouths full of teeth, sitting here gorging themselves on big mullet. And we keep feeding them little baits. Point being, throughout your year of fishing, wherever your spots are, there are times where you're probably missing out by not throwing a bigger bait. And that's for everybody. If you're just learning, you can upgrade. If you're very experienced, guess what? You can also upgrade. But the ones that are very experienced often might be captured by ego a little bit and have that, I don't need it, I'm already good enough kind of mindset. There's always room to grow. In anything you do, you can always get better. I like to try a traditional swim bait too. This is a Magdraft, so a different action than the glide bait, different presentation, different vibration in the water, just to see, because you got a good bite with the glide bait, maybe you can get it better, and it's happened before. There he is, good fish. Yeah, on that Magdraft, man, you know when they hit it, dude. Thump. Woo! Just thump. Knee buckling thump. Man, I love it. Another big one, y'all. Oh man, let's get in a live well, live well, live well.
Much fatter one.
She's got shoulders. Get her going. Megabass Magdraft 6-inch, y'all. Awesome. 22. All right, so these fish are laying up with these mullet and a big old 6-inch Magdraft just rolling right over them. To them, that's a mullet making a mistake. That's a rogue mullet. A mullet's decided to risk it all. And when they hit, it registers like that. As a fisherman, it just rings true. You're like, oh, that clicked for them. That played on their instinct. Another thing, y'all, so we've got these trout here in these mullet. On this edge, it's super shallow, and I've got a ton of waves and wind pushing me. I'm choosing just to blow by it and just fish through. We're picking off one here, one there. But the alternative is to go to put the nose of the boat with a trolling motor into the wind, and guess what's gonna happen? I'm gonna have a ton of boat slap, noise slapping the hull of my boat going into the waves. That will cause problems. I have 0 boat slap drifting by. And so we're just drifting by, and when we're done out of the area that we think they're in, that they've shown to be in, we just outboard away and back up and drift again. You gotta keep everything in your favor with big fish. If these were smaller fish and I was just putting keepers in, I would consider maybe just going against the current and just deal with a boat slap and hit them with a number of casts. Not with these bigger fish. These fish are extremely selective as is. And again, y'all, I wish I would have took a picture. I try to keep these fish in the live well. But this 6-inch bait, big old 1.25 ounce, 6-inch Magdraft was dwarfed inside that 3.5 pound trout's mouth. 22 inches, just 3.5 pound. just getting to be a big trout compared to how big they get. And this bait looked tiny in the back of her throat. You see that, you're like, oh my gosh. They have zero issue putting these baits away. Zero. Number 3 today, y'all. Did not have the camera on. Pretty fish. She is 22, just 22. She's probably about 3 and some change. There she is. She's not a keeper.
No, it's not.
It's a good fish, man. Not a keeper, or well, I should not a keeper, not a heavy hitter. Nice one though. She's probably gonna push 19, 20. Man, she is strong. Look at her go, man. She's already under the boat. Come up. Hooked her in the side again.
Yeah.
That's why. She's so strong. No, it was in the mouth. It was just, the stinger was stuck in there at some point. Nice little chunky 17-inch fish. Ate that chop block. Point being is it's not all bigs. You catch others. You go big hunting. Catch a few nice ones also for the box. What do you think, Maz? Oh, that's fish. What do you think? You may catch another one? Jeez, another nice trout. I was about to say, what do you think? We should call it? And that pause, she says, no. No. It's another 18-inch fish, man. So even when you're not catching bigs on this thing, man, you're still catching nice trout. Just doing work. It might be a 19-inch fish. Smoked it. Man, they love this thing. God, what a fish, man. Nice fish. Let's go ahead and net her. Treat her nice. Dang, it's a 20-inch fish, dude. Pretty fish. She is 19 and a half. So that's 3 over 20, 23, 2 22s, a couple 18s, and a 16. All on the chop block, 1 on the Magdraft. Another little tip, y'all, our mullet have moved around a little bit within a small area in the past 3.5, 4 hours we've been fishing. Essentially up close to the shore, and then now they've moved back a little bit as the tide's flipped and it's outgoing. Point being though is we're keeping an eye on the mullet, right? You don't get fixated on the spot where you started catching them. You focus on the bait, that's the key. These trout, especially in a given small area, will follow around the bait. They'll move around with these big schools of mullet. Provided that there's an area where it makes for a good feeding area. Like there's ambush, there's current, something that's giving an advantage to the trout. In this case, these mullet moved back, but now they're in a nice little outgoing tide coming around a point. And so they've still got some swells coming in the opposite direction, so they're getting pushed around a little bit. And again, that attracts those trout. They want to lay up, sit up next to those mullet that are getting pushed around a little bit, just waiting for a disadvantage to kind of present itself. And then it's lights out. But again, it is very, very easy. It is part of our nature when you're out here fishing and you do well, starting off or whenever, to stay on that spot and hug it. And if you do that and you're not paying attention to the why were those fish there? They're there for food. And what did that food do? A lot of times, those mullet will move right out from under your nose. And so will those trout. And so that's my point to you guys. Pay attention. There it is. That's a good one, maybe. I don't know. Oh, yeah. He pulled a, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Another nice trout. Let's see how long she is. She is 20 on the dot, 20-inch trout. Yeah, we'll get a picture in a minute. Let's put her in the live. So y'all can see the way I work this chop block is like if I'm working a top water, real tiny twitches, but not big. I've noticed if you twitch too hard, it'll blow out and turn upside down. I think you could get away with that with slower twitches, but if you want it to chop, chop, chop real fast, or I guess real frequent, not fast, that's what I do, real tiny twitches, and it'll chop side to side and actually keep it in the strike zone longer. Little tiny twitches. You could get good action with big, more longer twitches, but you're pulling it forward out of the strike zone quicker. You know, it just depends on what the fish want. Lately, I've liked the slower, lots of chops, injured look. Really stands out in big schools of mullet. It's a target. And then what I also like to do, because I do have fish follow this, I'll give it a couple real quick burn turns of the handle to make it look like it's an injured mullet, senses the trout's following it, and then tries to flee. And a lot of times that'll get bites. You gotta make sure you let them take it too, dude. Like that, you gotta let them take it. On the pause, old trolling motor. The old trolling motor trick. I made this trout think that I was actually messing around with a trolling motor and I wasn't. Totally fooled him. I knew what was gonna happen. When you're catching them good, you can make up stuff like that. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. I have not missed a fish yet today. These hooks are fantastic. Safe for the fish. They're not bleeding. Keeps them pinned. Saves your bait. Golly, another chunky fish. Golly. That's a 21-inch fish, dude. Another pretty fish. She is 20 on the dot. Hey y'all, as always, kind of do a little recap, a little summary of our pretty awesome morning. Went looking for big trout, definitely found them. I don't even know the total. I'll put it on the little captions here, but had 4 Speckled Truth heavy hitters. Biggest was 3.88 all the way down to one right on 23 inches, a couple 22s, and then a 21-inch. And then we had 4 or 5. I think we had another 2 20-inchers and several in the 18, 19-inch range. Caught a lot of fish. Everything came on the Berkley Chop Block, 6-inch, couple different colors. That's chrome gizzard. And then I had one of the bigger trout came on this Megabass Magdraft swimbait. That's a 6-inch swimbait right there. It's also got the little treble hook harness. The key, and you'll hear me talk about it in the video, but I just recap because I always like to, if you can leave with one thing, right? We found lots of mullet, right? Not just schools, I call them almost rafts, like just mullet. They're so thick you can almost walk on water in shallow water along the migratory route of where your trout are supposed to be, depending on where you live, right? So the trout got to be in the area, is point being. But hundreds of mullet, and again, as I've gotten better and better at finding these fish and catching them, that is the one thing that has become more and more true. The more mullet, the better, right? And a lot of times that's exactly what you have to have in order to have big trout there. Thick masses of mullet. Not a mullet flipping here and there, but like they're so thick, you see 30 mullet jumping at one time in an area, whatever the given size of area is. That's what those big trout are looking for. That's what they want to lay up next to. That's what they want to eat. All right, so that was the key. Nothing special, but just stick with that. That's what I'm going to do. The chop blocks, just like I've talked about before, I fish those. That's a 1 ounce on the dot bait, right? And so I fish it on this is a heavy action rod, but it's a moderate action, so it gives me a little bit more tip action. I've got 40-pound braid, 20-pound fluorocarbon. See how you can go with this, a little oval, what is it? No, I got a loop knot, or what's the little split ring?
Yeah, split ring.
Sorry, couldn't remember the word for split ring. I've been having issues with that, probably getting older. You can go with split ring or a swivel. I also put a nail weight in there. If you're real salty water, you want to give it a little weight just to kind of get it more subsurface. That's all you need for that. And then for the Magdraft, that's 1.25 ounces, I think. It's a little bit heavier. I'm fishing that on a true heavy action rod. Same thing, 40, 50 pound braid, 20 pound fluoro. That casts really well. Whereas the chop block casts, but you don't want to be throwing right in the middle of the wind. So it's not as conducive to casting, but it gets the job done, gets it out there. So that's it in a nutshell. Again, really happy and excited for you guys to see this video. It's always fun to see good sized trout caught, but that's the takeaway. That's what I want to impart on you on my new journey here, learning these big trout. I'm throwing bigger baits, and I suspect it's going to get bigger over time once I get used to these 6-inch baits and catch so many fish on them. But key, thousands of mullet, all in one area. That's when you look for, and then the shallower the better, because that just makes it easy for those trout to fish, to feed on. Get close, cast these big baits over those schools of mullet, the trout will find it, all right? So once again, thanks for following Inshore Edge. This has been Kyle. We appreciate you. Like and follow on Facebook. Heck, share. That'd be great. Get the word out. I'm trying to create good content for y'all. Ultimately, number one thing is to teach and educate and make you better fishermen and enjoy your hobby better, because let's face it, we love to catch fish. Also, subscribe on YouTube and check that out there. I'm categorizing everything to essentially be in a library format so you can find it fairly easy. If you want to go back a year or 2 years ago, see what Kyle was doing in the fall at this spot, blah, 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 this species, you can find it. All right. So again, thanks. Appreciate y'all.